What up? What up? What up? Back in the garage with it once again. I am your boy JR. Joined with me is again Sherm. Once again, told y'all we was gonna get back to y'all, and we have got back to y'all.
Mhm,
Here to talk some more ball, man. Just everything from baseball, basketball, football, whatever, whatever, man. Past couple of things that we've been going on with. But before we get into that, as always, I'd like to ask my co-host how you doing mentally and stuff. Are you good? Everything's cool. You ain't thinking about driving off no bridge, are you?
no, as far as mentally, everything's straight. I'm trying to get out of letting sports dictate my happiness right now, but it's it's not working well. The Braves are, mentally fucking me, but other than that, I'm good. Work, home life, great. My sports life ain't looking too good.
Hey,
What about yourself?
when you figure out how to not let sports dictate your mental, you let me know because I think us and just about everybody else that we come in contact with, I think that we all could agree that we probably need to work on that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But other than that, man, shoot, like you said, man, everything is everything, man. Work be work. Shoot, I got off work today and had to head straight to the crib, man, and just take me a good little nap, man. They working me these days, but it is what
Hmm.
it is, man.
Yeah.
With that being said, man, I think we should go ahead and talk about the NBA. Last time, you know what I'm saying, we were still in the conference finals, but since then everything's going final. We know our finals matchup. It is the Pacers, it is the Thunder.
Hmm.
Uh Before we talk about that though, I do want to start with they just announced today that the Knicks are letting go of Tom Thibodeau.
Hmm.
Uh, and I just want to know how you feel about it. If you think that that was a right move, if you agree with it, disagree with it, who you think coming next after him, you know, saying things like that.
Um, I'll say this. I'm not the biggest. Let me set the record straight. Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player of all time, but my second favorite is Derrick Rose. I love Derrick Rose when he was in Chicago. Big fan. Used to just watch him in damn high school all the time. So what Tibbs been doing this a very long time. He been running folks out the gyms in Chicago. He did it in Minnesota. Even Jeff Teague on his podcast tell him like, "Hey man, I need a break. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to sit." But as far as coaching goes, I think it's a good move by him because they've gotten a lot of money tied up in this big three, and including Josh Hart, let's say big four. They've got a lot of money tied up in this big four over the next 3 years. They need a guy that can rotate and build a bench. And what Tibbs has done, he's laid the foundation for a good starting core, but your starting core ain't no good if you can't trust your bench. Like what he did in the playoffs this year was just like unheard of. Like the bench was averaging less than 15 minutes a game. Like, how do you do that? And the only person that was getting spin on the bench was Cameron Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then in this series, you just completely said forget your bench because the Pacers was just that deep. You couldn't afford to take your guys off the floor because the Pacers can sit Halliburton and Siakam for 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes a game because Nesmith and them can still ball too. But as far as I see them bringing in, I think you either go I can't remember. I think whoever Milano, Mike Woodson. You might call Mike Woodson back, or you get a young guy. I think that it's either Mike Woodson or a young guy that's going to be able to trust his bench to make plays.
You said
As far
Mike
as
Woods. You're not confusing Mike Wilson with Mike Malone, are you the ex coach from the Denver Nuggets? I just want to be sure for our viewers
no,
that
no,
who you.
Mike Woodson been coaching at Indiana the last 3 years,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
University
yeah,
of
yeah,
Indiana
yeah.
the
Uh
last
huh.
3 years, and he kind of like he was above 500 all 3 years he was there. He
Mhm.
kind of got like pushed out by the boosters because
Mhm.
they wasn't winning like they were kind of like doing the Ohio State thing, one winning the big games. They was
Mhm.
making the tournament, they just weren't winning the big games, and this was the first year of his reign that they didn't make the tournament. And
Mhm.
they did have a good run in their conference in the a Big Ten conference tournament, but yeah, he didn't make the big tournament this year, so he kind of like forced in retirement. But I think he can still go. I think
Okay.
Mike Woodson can still go. You give him a shot. I mean, he was with it the 2 or 3 years Atlanta was competing with Cleveland. He did all right.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was at the helm of those Atlanta squads when you know what I'm saying they had their whole start five in the All Star game if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
And to be told, man, I completely forgot that he was around. I didn't even know he was at Indiana. That's why I was saying thought you
Yeah.
might have been confusing him with Mike Malone.
No,
Because
no,
I
no.
think that I think that as far as well, let me back up for a second.
Yeah.
I'm with you as far as the Thibodeau running people into the ground and stuff. I
Mhm.
said that a couple of episodes ago. I think right before they started the series against the Pacers.
Mhm.
Because I was going back because it's been a thing. Everybody knows who watch the NBA and really follow the NBA. Wherever Thibodeau goes, his starters are going to play 44, 46 minutes out of the 48-minute game. Like you
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying? Like you already know that. But I did want to go back and kind of look at the stats and just make sure that that trend was still holding. I just wasn't imagining things.
Mhm.
But no, like you said, he was just playing everybody 44, 46 minutes a game. Only going, only using 7 of his available 12, 13 players or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and to me, I'm surprised that he has had as much success as he's had with that strategy.
Mhm.
Because I know that like in playoff basketball, coaches do typically tend to shrink their roster.
Mhm.
They don't play all 12 guys usually. But for most coaches, they playing 12 guys in the regular season. They might shrink it down to 8, 9, something like that.
Mhm.
Thibodeau, he was only using 8, 9 guys in the regular season. Then he's, like you said, shrinking it down to 6, maybe
6.
7. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 7. So yeah, that was definitely a decision that he
Uh-huh.
continually makes. I've never understood it, but I mean, he has been blessed with some good teams. Like you said, he's had Derrick Rose. He's had up there in Minnesota, he had a squad there. Like he's always had guys, and I think that
Mhm.
that kind of helped mask some of that stuff. But nah, man, I'm like you, man. Once you get into the playoffs, bro, you gotta be able to trust your bench, and you use the
You got
regular
to.
season to build that trust in the bench. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that in order to get into the playoffs and win series after series after series, and then that final series you can't just ride 5, 6, 7 guys and expect them
No.
to hold up after you done already played an 82 game season. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
It just doesn't make any sense to me that he was continually doing that. And I think that that was his undoing.
Yeah.
Thibodeau, I think, is a guy that has a very high floor, but also a very low ceiling. I don't know if he's ever going to be a guy that can get you a championship if he's going to stick to his strategy of only playing 5, 6, 7 guys in the playoffs.
No, no, he'll keep a good win percentage. He'll be a winnable coach. But as
Yeah.
far as like championship building program, no, no,
Hmm.
no, no.
Yeah.
And then my hot take, everybody's calling Mike Malone, Mike Malone, Mike Malone.
Hmm.
I don't see him being a coach for very long. I think he gonna be like the Brad Stevens route. Somebody gonna hire him for a VP of operations or something to get the front office going. Because like he's what he did in Denver, it was unheard of. Like it's too good.
Hmm.
I don't think I think he can coach at that high level at a certain pace, but you don't want to keep the like he getting up there in age. You don't want to keep developing folks. Like eventually,
Mhm,
a VP job is gonna come open, and they're gonna
mhm.
hire him for that.
Okay, yeah, that I can agree with you there. I do think that Mike Malone should probably be at the top list of their candidates.
Mhm.
And also, buddy, that I just forgot his name, head coach of Villanova.
Yeah. Oh, right, Jay
Um,
Wright,
yes, thank you.
Jay
Because
Wright.
correct me if I'm wrong, but he's pretty familiar with Jalen Brunson,
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying, Mikal
yeah.
Bridges, and who else? There's one more on the
Hart,
squad.
Josh Hart.
Hart, thank you. So he's pretty familiar with those guys,
Mhm,
and he won a championship with them in college. So
mhm,
if I'm New York Knicks, then he's actually probably gonna be the first person I call. Mike Malone's probably gonna be the second, and then of course you got some more guys that you can add on to that list and stuff. But I
mhm,
think that Wright probably would be the right guy for the job. So I think that that's somebody that they should look at just because of that familiarity, especially like you said, you've invested so much in that big four. You might as well go and get a guy who already knows that big four and could get the
mhm.
most out of that big four.
Yeah.
And he's already shown that he can do that at least at the collegiate level, and will does not going to necessarily translate to the pros, but
Mhm.
it's a step in the right direction in my
Yeah.
opinion. So I think that that's somebody they should look at. Mike Malone, I don't think would be a bad guy, but like you
No, he
said,
wouldn't be at all.
that might be a 1 to 2 year thing. But again, we got to remember that in the NBA, these title windows, man, they are short.
They are
They are
slim.
really short.
They they
Um,
they are slim. And back to what you call it, Jay Wright. You know, Villanova just got into a Power Five conference
Mm,
7 or 8 years ago. Jay
mhm,
Wright is kind of like the Nick Saban of college basketball. Like
mm,
he's being specially invited to come speak on the NBA, college basketball, all the networks. You know, try to buy him
mhm.
for an interview. So like, it's gonna take some money to get Jay Wright. Pretty much. That's a,
Cool.
it's gonna take a bag. It's gonna take a bag because he goes on every single. He's been on NBC, ABC, um, ESPN's College Game Day on Saturdays. He's done called a national championship. Like it's gonna take
Mhm.
some money to get him.
And I mean, shoot, if it's anybody that got some money for him,
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
mean New York
probably,
is the
you
mecca
know
of
what I'm saying? Like
yeah
that's probably, um, shoot, man. When you think about it, I think that that might be the what's the word? I don't want to say wealthiest, but the most valued
yeah
franchise, like you know what I'm saying, in all the sports, and just
yes
basketball, football, whatever.
hmm
It's probably going to be the Knicks playing up there in Madison Square. So
yeah. I
if
hope they
anybody
take
got the
it.
money to lead them away, I
Yeah
think it would be New York.
yeah. I hope they take their time with it. That's the thing. Like you got four guys under big contracts for the next 3 years. Take your time doing your coaching search, man. Like you ain't got to
Hmm.
rush to hire nobody. Like
Yeah,
the
season over
NBA,
now.
yeah, yeah. The final start in tomorrow. I mean, you got plenty of time.
Hmm. Big facts, man.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of the finals, let's just go ahead and talk about that real quick, man.
yeah,
OKC, probably been the best team all year,
yeah.
from when it tipped off, and then you got Indiana, arguably the hottest team since like January 1st or so.
hmm
Number one offense, number one defense. I'm sure by now, you know what I'm saying, you just seen all the
Yeah.
tidbits and the stats and all of that stuff. But like how do you think this series is gonna go? A lot of people are predicting a sweep, a gentleman sweep. How you think it's gonna go?
It's gonna boil down to are the refs gonna let them play, or you gonna give SGA 10 free throws a game.
Hmm.
You get that man free throws, you get a man 10 free throws a game. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a gentleman sweep all day. But if you actually let them play, it can go 6 or 7. But it all depends on the foul situation, how they're gonna call it, pretty much. I think how it's gonna call it. In a realistic world, I
Hmm.
got OKC in 6, but if they, SGA just won MVP. If you're pushing him to be your face of the NBA, you might let him get a gentleman sweep. You might just like push him to stardom. And that sucks for Indiana because Indiana's a well built team. But
Hmm.
I, in a realistic world, OKC in 6.
Okay. Nah. I think I'm the only person out the whole like the garage crew that is taking Indiana in this series. I'm giving it to them Indiana in 7.
Indiana in
Um,
7, okay,
Indiana in 7.
okay.
It only because, well, let me just go ahead and be honest. It is mostly because I'm an OKC hater. I'm not
Mhm.
really a fan of OKC. And I'm not a fan of the way that SGA plays ball at the moment.
No, I'm not
Um,
either.
like you know what I'm saying with the foul baiting and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And it's because to me it's really annoying because just like James Harden does it too.
Yeah.
Like they foul bait and it's not like they have to do that. Those boys can hoop. Like when they like if
Yes.
you was to say, hey, SGA, you know what I'm saying, we'll give you $1 million if you can score 30 this game and not shoot a free throw attempt.
Hmm.
Bet you he could score 30 without shooting a free throw. Like I bet you he could
Absolutely.
if he really wanted to. But you know what I'm saying, free throws, easy points. And I get that, like, at the end of the day, you trying to win the game. You ain't really trying to do it with style points. And I'm just
Hmm.
in the garage and you know what I'm saying, just talking shit about this multi-millionaire athlete that's a MVP. But
Hmm.
I just don't like the way that, you know what I'm saying, he goes about getting some of his points and stuff like that. So I am on the OKC hate train. I am taking Indiana.
Hmm.
Um I do like Halliburton. That boy got a clutch gene
Yeah,
that's just I don't know if he gonna be able to replicate this going forward. I don't know
yeah.
if he done sold his soul for this playoff run, but he
Uh,
doing some things that's just like, bro, like how many times you gonna have the last shot and make the shot? He like 4 for 4, 5 for 5 or
yeah,
so, but like game winners throughout this
yeah,
playoff series, like that just doesn't happen typically.
yeah. Yeah.
So to me, they got a big team of destiny feel to them. So
Mhm.
I'm just gonna ride that momentum, man. I am.
Yeah. And like I quoted Wag. I said if the Pacers made the NBA Finals, I will be on the SGA hate watch. I mean, I'm with you there, but in a realistic world, if I think I know what's gonna happen, and the NBA is trying to
Mhm.
push this man into stardom, they're gonna get
Mhm.
him out of there. But
Nah.
yeah, I will be on the hate watch with you though, SGA. Because like I said, I don't like the way he plays basketball because he's a good basketball player. You don't have to foul bait, bro. You don't have to
Yeah.
bait folks. Like
Exactly.
you can get a bucket without baiting folks.
Easily several buckets.
Yeah.
Easily.
And
So now
and then
I'm just on that. Go ahead.
yeah. And then speaking on Halliburton, it's like all right, the the USA team, you know how they do extensive recruiting, like not everybody gets to put that jersey on to play for the country. It's like what did Grant Hill and them know about Halliburton to put him on that team, but they didn't use him. That's
Mhm.
the thing there. Maybe they was like, maybe this kid can really play. And Halliburton did play well in college because, like, I'm a degenerate. I bet college basketball. So I've always known of Halliburton. And, like, at Iowa State is known for defense. They are
Mhm.
good year in and year out. Them boys, you play Iowa State, you might shoot 40% from the field. Like, it is gonna happen. But yeah, what did Grant Hill and them know that we didn't see from the naked eye
Nah,
with,
they
with
knew something.
Halliburton?
They definitely knew something, man. But yeah, man. So we'll definitely be on that hate watch train.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just a good series, man. Also,
Yeah.
the other part of that is I don't like sweeps. I don't like gentlemen sweeps. I want more
Nah.
hoops. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More hoops, more games, the better, as far as I'm concerned. So
Hmm.
that's another part of the reason why I'm on there and stuff, man. But we shall see.
Yeah.
Like
We
I
should. We
said,
shall
game
see.
one, like you said, starts on Thursday.
Hmm.
Should be a good series regardless of how it goes, man. And we'll definitely be keeping our eye on the Knicks search for a head coach.
Hmm. We definitely will be keeping an eye on them.
Moving on, I guess we can let's just go ahead and talk about this baseball, man. That's what the people come for us for,
Yeah.
man. You know
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
baseball and
Yeah.
stuff, man. So let's go ahead and switch gears and start talking about baseball. Um oh, I do want to give a big shout out. I do want to give a big shout out to my O's. They finally
Got
swept
them a
the
sweep.
season
It was a
series, you know
series
what I'm
sweep.
saying?
First series sweep all year.
Um, Granted, it was against the second worst team in all of Major League Baseball, but hey, look, it's
Hey,
a positive side, man.
it's a pot.
Um,
It's a pot of thing going. A sweep is a sweep.
Look, I'll take it, bro. I'll take it. We only, I think, it's less than 20 games. I forget the actual record. I need to go and look at it real quick. But we,
Hmm.
like 18 or so games behind being 500.
Yeah.
Actually getting into kind of a I don't want to say a easy part of the schedule, but easier little stretch
Hmm.
of games that we finna come up on. So hopefully we can make up some ground. I don't expect them to go like 18-0 or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But they should be able to squeeze out a few more wins and start trying to fight it back. They did let go of their manager.
Hmm.
Um, and then, I mean, they let him go, then they swept somebody. So who knows? Maybe the vibes have changed in the dugout. Hopefully they keep winning and stuff, man. Super
Hmm.
excited to see them. But nah, they still got quite a ways to go. Sitting here watching Yankees and the Guardians play right now. So I'm gonna be rooting against the Yankees, the Blue Jays. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be rooting against a whole lot of people.
Uh huh.
For the foreseeable future and stuff, man. So hopefully we'll be able to see them, well, at least I could see them make a run. I know you probably don't care, man. Your Braves, they got Acuna back. Well, I'll let you talk about your Braves.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as baseball's going right now, it's, uh, league wide is looking good because you have more underestimating teams starting to win games now because it's like people it's been we are 7 series in, so people's got a lot of film and a lot of people got a lot of film on pitches and stuff, so you got a lot more series in. But as far as my Braves go, man, it's frustrating. Last week playing the division, the division, the elite of the division. The Phillies are up 7 games on everybody in the division. Why can't you make it a ball series with them? With how good their pitching is, you can
Mm-hmm.
make it a ball series with them. But then you come home, have home field advantage, and you let do you team with the worst bullpen and worst starting pitching rotation beat you in a series. Like, how does that work? That's why I said baseball is a funny sport, man. Like, it's just, and even tonight, you're letting a guy with a 6 ERA cook y'all. Like, how does that work?
Who
Like,
they playing today? Oh yeah, I did just see that. They are playing today. Who they playing today?
Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks. Yep,
Yeah.
Charles is. Yep.
The Diamondbacks have a hell of offense. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but they're the same way with Boston. Their starting pitching is just complete shit. And you letting a guy with a 6 ERA mow y'all down today, pretty much. And like it's, and then last week, so we got a new third base coach. They
Oh yeah, I
relieved our
saw that. I saw that.
yeah,
Saw that. Yep.
they relieved our old third base coach of his duties because he took a AAA manager leading job. Cool for him, it's pay raise. Cool, go do your thing. You want to show that you want to make it be a manager on a big level. Cool, I'm by any means go do it. But last week we had arguably our best pitcher in our rotation this year get hit with a line drive off the bat for 118, and he like shrugged his arm. Manager didn't even do nothing. They just asleep. So one of the
Mm-hmm.
pitchers went up to him like, "Hey, check the pitcher. He just got hit in the arm." Come to find out, torn UCL. So if that man
Mm.
would have kept throwing, it would have been just. I think
Yeah.
it's time for a manager change for us. Snit's old. He's about to be
Mm-hmm.
70. It's time to go to the house. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not gonna do the. I wish they would, just relieve him of his duties mid-season, but him only winning the second World Series in franchise history, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, I
They're
was
gonna
about to
ride him.
say yeah.
They're not gonna do it. They're gonna ride. They're gonna give him the little red carpet.
Mhm.
They're just gonna ride him out for the year, and we're gonna suffer with this talented roster we got pretty much because he is asleep at the helm, man. We seen that last week with the way how he's been managing us. Like a quality, I don't know if people know, a quality start in the MLB is 6 innings,
Mhm,
less than 2.5 earned runs,
mhm,
and 6 innings, 2.5 earned runs, and 3 walks.
mhm,
All our pitchers been doing that. But they've been getting 6 innings, whatever, not giving no run. Besides tonight, they've been giving up no runs pretty much to about 6 innings. He's overextending our guys. Like
mhm.
they get their 6 innings, pull them. That's what a bullpen for. Even though our bullpen is bad, you got to trust your bullpen. Like they're going to be there all year long. Yeah, but
Yep.
it's just it's
Like we
it's
was just
messy in
talking
Atlanta.
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
like we was just talking about, man. You gotta. We was talking about it in the NBA with Thibodeau and stuff, but you got to be able to trust your bench in this situation. You got to be able to trust your bullpen because,
yeah.
um, like the Atlanta Braves, they should be a postseason team. Like
They
more
should. They
times
should.
than not. Like even if they don't win the division, they should
Mm-hmm.
absolutely be a wild card team. Jazz
Mm-hmm.
just left the yard.
Yeah.
Um, but they should absolutely be a playoff team. Um, and you got to look at it like, of course, injuries are a thing. I'm pretty sure y'all gave him a pass last year because y'all was just massacred by the injury bug
Yeah.
last year. Like that was just
It wasn't nothing
it
we could
couldn't
do.
get no worse. Yeah,
No.
it couldn't get no worse, man. So
It,
obviously, what I'm saying, you give him a pass for that one and stuff. But like this year, I know that Cunha was out, but I mean he's been back for what, maybe 2 weeks now, maybe
two
not
week,
quite
two
two
weeks
weeks.
now and balling.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you starting to get guys back. Obviously, like you said, you just lost one of your starting guys, one of your starting pitchers, though. He'll probably be out for the well, ain't no probably. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Um so again, but like what I'm saying, that's what you get paid for the big bucks for as a
Uh,
manager. It's for you to manage the game.
it
And like you
is.
said, man, he ain't really been doing that too great of a job. He's
Uh,
not doing horrible. I mean, like you guys are 4 games back from being 500.
yeah.
You are fourth place in the division though, so that kind of sucks.
That
Um,
does.
and then
That
especially when you got the Mets and the Phillies above you, like you said, that's two. Those are also two top organizations.
yes.
NL East probably might be the most difficult division in doggone baseball. Honestly, if
Yeah.
we're gonna be
It
truthful about it, top to bottom. But
it it, it is because you got a young team now in Washington that can hit the ball. Like Washington has called up every single one of young day prospects, and they're playing them every day. And they're scoring the runs. They just can't stop
hmm
people from scoring. Just bad pitching.
hmm
They can't stop people from scoring. But man, I hate to say this, that boy Judge gonna win MVP, dog.
you locking it in.
Hey, hey,
Each
that
day
boy
you get
that,
more and more locked
that
in.
this weekend alone. I'm telling you, man, when the lights are bright and they put the camera on them boys on prime time,
He
you play the
usually do
Dodgers and
show up.
hit five. You play the Dodgers and hit 4 home runs in a series. No,
Yeah.
it ain't nothing you can do about that.
Nah, I was about to say, that was impressive. I wish I could have. They had that first game, the game that the Dodgers won 18-2. They had that one behind a paywall. I think it was on Apple TV on
Yeah,
Friday nights and stuff.
yeah.
Couldn't watch that one. I missed that one. I really wanted to see it because,
Uh huh.
again, like that was what? No, that was a Saturday. That was a Saturday.
Yeah,
My
Saturday
bad.
game. Yeah.
That was a Saturday game. I think I was doing something else. Couldn't watch the game regardless though.
Hmm.
But that's the one that I really wanted to see. Obviously you talk about, oh shoot, Volpe just left the yard too. There
Yeah.
go them torpedo bats. There go them
Hey man,
torpedo bats. But anyways though, man, Yankees, Dodgers, that's a series I really wanted to watch. I didn't get a chance to watch it and stuff, but I did go back check the box score and stuff, especially in that 18-2 game, because I
mhm.
wanted to know what the hell happened. Giving up 18 ain't really something that you're supposed to be doing in
No,
baseball.
no,
You
no,
know what
not
I'm
one bit.
saying? And then the only have two, so of course I go and check, and of course the only two runs that the Yankees scored was because Aaron Judge left the yard two times, man.
Yes.
When you talk about the most valuable player, it is getting to a point where it's kind of hard to be like, man, Judge is the most valuable player. Like he's doing some things. As much as I hate the short porch, he be leaving from the short porch.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you know what I'm
do.
saying? He got the same short porch that the other 17 guys that's
Mm-hmm.
playing is trying to hit to. Like he got that same short porch. He
Uh-huh.
going out there a lot more often than anybody else is. So kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
shouts out to him, man. He is doing well. I'm hating on the
Yeah.
Yankees because, like I said, I am an O's fan. It kind of sucks to see them be what are they 14 games ahead of the Orioles right now, and
Mm-hmm.
we roughly 2 months into the season and stuff. Like that
Mm-hmm.
sucks to see, but it is what it is, man. They have a very talented squad. Um, but I mean, we knew that the
Mm-hmm.
Yankees were talented. It's just all about the postseason now, man.
Yeah.
Like we know that y'all can win some playoff series. It's World Series or bust. It's championship or bust. It's not just making the World Series. It's not
Mm-mm.
just making the ALCS. It is about the Yankees winning it all. Can
Yeah.
they do it? They clearly have the offense for it. Their
Yeah.
pitching isn't bad.
Mm-mm.
The fielding, as I've been watching this, I think I started watching this in like the fourth or the fifth inning. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
them make two errors already.
But yeah.
Like, you know
Hey,
what I'm saying? So that's what it's gonna come down to. But you're right. Um, Judge will be very close to the top of the MVP vote getters, if not the
mm-hmm.
actual MVP winner. Whatever. Fuck them. I don't like them, bro. I don't want to talk about the Yankees
Don't.
no more.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to talk
It's
about the Yankees no more.
it's just they reload every year when you got a limited cap space. That's what you do. You go
Hey,
buy the
just like the
best.
Dodgers, man. I
Yeah.
know a lot of folks. Let's just talk about that for a second, man. Everybody want to try to hate on the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets for going out and spending just an absurd amount of money to build the best roster possible. And ain't that the fucking point? Like that's what
It,
I
it
ain't that
is.
the fucking point, bro? Like why would I simply be like, if I have the money, if I have the capital, if I can afford to spend $1 billion a year to
Mm-hmm.
put out the best, 40 man build the best 40 man roster, why the
Yeah.
hell wouldn't I do that? Just because fucking Tampa Bay don't want to spend $1 billion to do it? I ain't got shit to do with me.
Ain't got
I
shit to do
ain't
with
got
me.
nothing to do with me. I'm finna spend the money because I got the money. Now, should there be a salary cap in baseball? I don't think so. Get your
No.
money up. Every
Get
franchise is super profitable. Most
it.
of y'all owners and stuff, just like, and it's not just the MLB. I will say that happens in the NFL, NBA too, and stuff.
Uh-huh.
These owners have enough money. All right,
They
there ain't an owner in the league that is strapped for cash. There
no,
is not
not
a
one bit.
franchise across the four major sports. Even if we start talking about hockey, I don't think there's one franchise that is losing money season over season, year over year.
No.
These owners can spend the money to get their bread up to field a competitive team. They just don't want to. So
Uh-huh.
whatever. Then I
And
like
you
the
know,
Dodgers. Don't like the Yankees, but the Mets are cool. Spend the
and
money if you got it.
you know what's crazy? The Braves have one of the most like laid back payrolls,
Hmm.
but have been the most earning team in baseball the last 7 years, and don't want to spend the money. It kills me.
Now, what
It
I will
kills me.
say. what I will say about the Braves though, not to cut you off, but they have gotten so good at drafting. Like, you know what I'm
They
saying? So I
have,
do
they
want to
have. Don't
say
get me
that
wrong.
a lot of that stuff. The reason I think that that's part of the reason why they are so profitable is because a lot of their guys are still on rookie deals. But if
Hmm.
they were smart, they'd go ahead and start locking up some of these guys, man, and just you know what I'm saying because their window in baseball can be a little bit larger if you are lucky enough to draft some of these guys.
Hmm.
Because what is it? I think like the first 6 years, a club has like the exclusive rights. Like if they draft a guy, they have the rights
Hmm.
for like 6 years. I think I could be wrong
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. Archivations for 6 years. Yeah,
Yeah. So you can have these guys locked up for 6 years. They got to worry about nobody else trying to come and get them and stuff unless you willingly trade them away and stuff. You got to take advantage of that though, especially if you're the Braves and you have been looking. They already do have one World Series. I don't know why we can't forget about that. They did
no,
win one, so we can't
they
say that
did
they
win
just
one.
wasting
Yes,
it away. But they should be more competitive and stuff. But like you said, ownership too lackadaisical. You got to go out and spend some money, man. You got to keep this
you
window open,
got to.
build the best possible team.
You definitely got to. You definitely got to. Mm. Oh, I did know something I wanted to speak on today too. I know it's different from baseball, but
Well, go ahead.
I was watching something today. NIL with football or whatever. Um, I was watching Cam Newton today, and they um they were quoting a video. This guy was quoting a video telling what's different about Syracuse's NIL program. Syracuse finding them boys for missing class, cutting, not making
Ooh.
weight,
Ooh, I did not
all
know
this
that.
crazy stuff. I said, dog, every program needs that now. If you want to hold kids accountable, everybody can. They said if they miss weight, it's a quarter of their monthly stipend. I said, oh my god.
Hey, big ups to Syracuse, boy. Hey, Syracuse, you just got a fan. I'm gonna have to look into that because I didn't see that at all.
Yeah.
And if so, that's fucking common sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at
Uh
this
huh.
point, let's call it what it is. These guys are professional athletes. You get
They, they,
paid
they, they are
like
professional
that,
athletes.
you
There's no
professional
such thing as an
athlete, dog.
amateur no more.
At least in football. Unless you like, D2, D3. And I mean some of
Yeah.
those guys are getting NIL. So you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, even still.
Uh
But
huh.
nah, if Syracuse is actually doing that, man, I'm definitely gonna look into that because shoot, that might hey, y'all just gained a fan in me, man. We do have to
Yeah.
start holding these guys accountable and stuff, man.
And
Um,
like and
go
like
ahead.
the people they were interviewing, it was the starting cornerback and I think the starting running back, and they basically broke down and said it was like because Fran Brown came from Georgia, he was their offensive analyst or whatever, he wasn't even a coordinator, he was their offensive analyst, and he was like, if I gotta earn my paycheck, y'all do too. Like my job on the line, just like y'all, and it should be. I hate you got to treat an 18, 19-year-old kid that way, but hey,
Where the
I
sport
gotta
is
feed
now.
my family too, so we
Yeah.
gonna hold you accountable.
Nah, that's absolutely beautiful, man. That's exactly what they should be doing. They should do more of that. I need
Uh
to
huh.
make a call to Caleb DeBoer, get on my hotline and call him down there and let him know that like, hey, this how we moving, bro. We gotta start holding these guys accountable and stuff. And I think that that's gonna make them care more.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, that ain't a bad idea. That's pretty good.
So shout out to them. I'm definitely gonna have to look into that and stuff, man. I think your boys just went down 1, 2, 3 at the top of the eighth too. Or am I tripping?
Mm-hmm.
Or is my app? Mm. But anyways, though, man. Speaking of college football, man, I just want to address this. Ryan Williams, he sat down with John Gruden, man,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I watched the interview. Look, I'm a Grudy guy. I
um,
watched the interview. Yeah, I see it.
look, I watched that man, and he okay. So on social media, the quote was John Gruden asked about Vanderbilt and stuff, and how Alabama's going to be approaching that game and stuff. And Ryan Williams said that like it's not just going to be a revenge game. We're going to kill an ant with a sledgehammer and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go out and say that I'm okay with that. It's not a great look though for Alabama to be discussing Vanderbilt as like there it is,
No, it's
big time opponent that we need to really game plan for and lock in. I mean, you're
uh-huh.
supposed to game plan and lock in for everyone, but obviously we know over the course of the last 40 years or so, Bama's been up here, Vanderbilt's been down here and stuff. So it does kind of suck to have to come out and say things like that. But there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that was really upset about that quote. I like it though. I want to have joyless murder ball once again in Tuscaloosa,
Yes.
man. I want to blow everybody out. I don't care. I want to beat everybody by 60. I don't want the games to be competitive. All right, call me what you want to. I don't want
Yeah.
to see my squad go out there and obliterate the
Mhm.
competition and stuff. So I'm glad that the guys are seeming to, buy into the board. Um, the spring transfer portal came and went. We didn't lose a single scholarship player. The
That's
only
good.
team
That's
in the
good.
SEC to do so. That just says to me that the guys are buying in to what the board and Womack and
Mhm.
everybody else is selling and stuff. So I am super excited about this season, man. But y'all get up off my boy Ryan Williams, man. Let Bama do what Bama gonna do. I know everybody wants to kill the dynasty and they want to bury the dynasty and all of that stuff.
That-
That dynasty is over. Saban's no longer there. That dynasty is over. But understand that
yeah.
this is still Alabama. We still have one of the most top one of the best talented teams out there, top talented
Yes.
teams out there and stuff, man. We gonna be all right, bro. Bama misses the playoff for 1 year, and everybody just swears we went like 3-9 or something, bro. Everybody calm down. Let my man have a full off season. Cause he
Mhm.
came in. Well, we already know what happened when he came in. He lost a bunch of people. Yada yada. It's tough to kind of, instill your own culture. Let everybody know that, like, yo, I'm not Nick Saban. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently, but I still know what I'm doing. Everybody just give my man's time. Give my man's time, bro.
Mhm.
We'll be all right. So I just wanted to say that to all the Bama fans out there, bro. Calm
Yeah.
down.
Bama is still the standard. Like I don't care who you are. Like you can be a damn hater all you want. Bama is still the standard as far as college football. It's not gonna change. Like it's not gonna change.
For sure, for
It's
sure,
that.
for sure. Oh, this what we need to talk about. I forgot about it, but
Uh huh.
last time we was on, we didn't get a chance to touch on them, but we got a little bit more time now, man. But let's go ahead and switch on over to the WNBA, man. Let's talk about these
Okay.
women
Okay.
hoops, man. Um,
Okay.
everything's going well and stuff, man.
Yeah.
I know a couple of weeks ago, obviously the big thing was Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark hard fouled Angel Reese.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about that too much longer because to me it was just a basketball play. Like it just is what it is.
Uh
Um
huh.
I've said it once before. I'll keep saying it. As much as we hate to admit it, the issue between Kaylin Clark and Angel Reese, the only reason why we still consider that a rivalry, even though one's a guard and one's basically a center, the only
Mm-hmm.
reason why we consider that to be a rivalry is because of that national championship matchup that they had a couple of years ago in college. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and now everybody wants to make it a race thing, whether we like it or not. It is what it is. It's the
Yeah.
same thing that the NBA had back in some of their early years between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? It just came in to be a race thing. It is what it is. Hopefully it doesn't stay that way. Hopefully we can get to some real hoops and stuff like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
will say that it's good for the sport. All
It
right.
is.
Why? Because people are tuning in. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're
It, it
talking about it.
it is good for sport. Like I wasn't the biggest WNBA guy, don't get me wrong, but as far as women's sports, I watch college softball and I watch college basketball. I like those two.
Hmm.
But I've never been into the WNBA. They start that Unrivaled this year. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
cool. I give it a chance. So I seen this one chick on there that just kept balling on folks. Nafrisa Collier. I didn't know who
Hmm.
she was till this to the Unrivaled League. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I was thrilled with the 1v1s with her because she was whooping up on guards. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
I
no.
was like, oh, this girl nice. Come to find
Hmm.
out, like she's like a former MVP, all this. I'm actually
Hmm.
watching the Minnesota Leagues game now. But yeah,
Hmm.
but it, my love for her is a little attraction. Don't get me wrong. I am attracted to her. But
She bad.
hey,
Hey, she bad.
the freaking hoop.
No, yeah, but she got
Yeah,
hey, no look, she pretty and all, but that motherfucker a dog on that court now.
she is a dog
Yeah.
at basketball. She is a dog. Like now she got like 13 and 8 now. I'm like, damn.
Mhm.
She be hooping every night. But yeah, I've done started to catch on, but I think the WNBA really gonna get popping when Juju get there. I think it's gonna be only popping for real.
That's the Michael Jordan right there, to
Yeah,
finish my Bird and Magic
yeah,
conversation and stuff. Like they the ones who kind of bring the league into the foresight of people. And
yeah,
then but once MJ showed up to the NBA, oh, it was different. Like then all of
yeah.
a sudden it became must see TV. And I
Yeah.
think Juju is going to be that MJ. I think she's the one, either
She's gonna
her
be it.
or my girl from South Carolina. I think she just transferred to LSU. Malaysia
Malaysia for yeah.
Foley Filey. I forget her
So how do
last
you
name.
pronounce the name? Yeah,
Um,
dog,
Dog, you feel me? Like
dog.
that motherfucker go hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the WNBA, the dub, man, they in a good spot, man. I think over the next couple of years, they're gonna be pushed more into the forefront. I think that
hmm
people are gonna actually start taking them a little bit more seriously.
hmm
Question for you though, a little bit of a controversial opinion. They play on a 10 feet hoop just like the men. You think they need to lower that at all? Just so they could get more dunks. I mean, we started to see some women be able to get up there and do
Yeah.
a couple of those rim grazers, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
They starting to get up there and be able to dunk a little bit, but do you think that they should probably lower that hoop just so we get more dunks and have more exciting plays, or you think they need to leave it alone?
Mm,
Tough
I'm
question,
all
right?
for equality in sports, man, but I don't know about lowering the hoop because like
Mhm.
it would make their games more interesting. There'd be a lot more scored in their games, but
Mhm.
I think you leave it there. I think you leave it there. I think
I go back and forth about it. I ain't gonna lie
yeah.
to you. I do go back and forth about it because, like you said, is you drop the hoop by a foot. I
hmm
seen some people say drop it down to 8 feet. Now 8 feet, I think is a little bit too low. 8 feet,
That's
I'm
a
like,
little too
hold on
much.
now.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. Some of these chicks they coming out of they 6'1", 6'2" already. Now like
Yeah.
hold on a second. You
Yeah.
drop
It's
down to
just,
8 feet, you doing a lot now.
yeah. You
Um,
doing a whole lot.
but like but for like a foot, just drop it down to 9 feet. Like I said, just to get a few more exciting plays, I can
hmm
see it. And kind of my thought process behind that is like you said, you watch a lot of women's softball for
Yeah.
college and stuff. And we need to talk about the College World Series and stuff. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the men's and the women's so far.
hmm
But don't let me forget that we do need to touch on that before we get out of here. But
Yeah.
anyways, a part of the reason why softball is so exciting is because they did move that fence in,
Yeah.
a good 100 feet or so. That the
hmm
fence is usually I think between like 200 to maybe 250, maybe 260 in like the deepest part.
hmm
Um, and it does make for some exciting things. We got some people leaving the yard and stuff like that. So that's kind of where my mindset is.
Okay.
So
I can see that then.
I think I'm I think I'm okay with going down to 9 feet, but the only issue with that is that then you're asking these women who've been hooping for 18, 20, 25, 30 something years or so. I'm talking about from, what I'm saying, from a little one all the way up to their
Yeah.
professional career. But now all of a sudden they've been hooping at this 10-foot hoop for forever, and now all of a sudden you dropping it down a foot. I think that initial season or two, as far as like jumpers,
hmm
might cause some issues too. Cause like you know what I'm saying, it's different shooting from a 10 foot, 9 foot, 8 foot, whatever. It's different. So I
hmm
think that shooting percentages probably would drop a little bit, but you know what I'm saying, actual like you said, the dunks they'll probably be more oops. It'll make for a little bit more exciting play.
hmm
I would probably say don't do that in the WNBA. Maybe if Unrivaled wants to take a chance at
Yeah.
it, just to kind of see, you know what I'm saying. If they kind of want to play around with it a little bit, maybe maybe just a couple of things. Like you said, they do the 1v1s and stuff.
hmm
Maybe there's another thing that they could do, a 3-on-3 on a 9 foot hoop, or 8 foot hoop, just so
Uh,
everybody can kind of see how that would work. I think it would be kind of worth looking into just to kind of see. But
mhm.
I'm also okay with keeping it at 10 feet if you really want the truth. Either way, but I just want to get
Yeah.
your opinions on that.
Yeah. And then like Unrivaled is so good for the sport. I mean, it's from a fan point of view, Unrivaled is so good for the sport because like they're being innovative and they're doing things. They're making the game 3v3. They're hosting a 250K 1v1 take all. Like they're doing the small thing. They're cutting the quarter times. They're making the court shorter. Like they're doing things to make the game be fast paced, more scoring
Hmm.
or whatever. I just think like the WNBA eventually is going to have to fall in line with what they're doing because with now the funding, Unrivaled can pay these girls twice to what they're making their salary is now.
Hmm.
So WNBA is going to have to come along and they're going to do something. They're just pretty much
Hmm.
they're going to have to get something going for them that Unrivaled isn't doing. And lowering the hoop would be it. But if Unrivaled decides the lower the hoop, The WNBA might have to, follow behind it.
Mhm. Yeah, nah. I was gonna say because Rival they hit the scene last year, man, but they had a lot of support right out the gate. Due
Hmm.
to in part that 1v1 tournament that they did. I saw that and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. I love
Yeah.
seeing this. But then a lot of folks was like, now this is what we need in the NBA. Them boys ain't finna do that. Them boys, we can
No,
just go ahead and stop that right
them
there. They ain't finna do that.
egos too big, dog. They not doing it.
They ain't
It's
not
too
doing
much
that.
money and egos. They're not doing it. They're not doing it
They ain't not doing
because
that.
you get let's take Jalen Brunson. For instance. You
Hmm.
take Jalen Brunson and let's take a middle of the pack NBA player. Let's say rookie of the year, Stephen Castle, who's 6'5",
Hmm.
can handle the ball and shoot. You don't think you can give Jalen Brunson a bucket on the wide open court?
Oh yeah, for
Jalen Brunson
sure.
not doing that.
Yeah.
No, they not doing that. Their ego's too big. They're not gonna do that. No.
Nah, nah, nah. I was say they not doing that stuff. So we can go ahead and hang that up.
Yeah.
Um, as much as we would all love to see it, maybe on All Star Weekend they might do that, but I doubt that they do it then, man, because ain't nobody gonna sign up. Because somebody like you said is gonna be a Steven Castle that's gonna give Braun buckets, and everybody gonna,
Yes.
and that's gonna tarnish his legacy. And it's
No.
no, 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 no. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. No, 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 no.
Not doing that one bit.
Um. But nah, man. But like you said though, nah, if the WNBA ain't careful, man, Unrivaled will and probably should overtake them as far
Yeah.
as what they're doing. So WNBA, they're gonna have to come up with something. There's a lot of things that I think that the WNBA could do to boost viewership.
Hmm.
Especially on days like when they play on like Sunday or something, man, you'll look up and there'll be like four WNBA games on Sunday, and all of them start at 3 p.m. Like that's just
Hmm.
not smart. Like you know what I'm saying?
No,
You got to stagger those a little bit, man. Let
you do. I
everybody,
agree.
you know what I'm saying, see all of them and stuff, see all the potential you got out there. They're doing a pretty good job on the marketing front as far
Uh
as promoting some of their bigger stars and stuff. They're leaning into the fact that a lot of the women now are, like we said, very attractive and stuff in the
yeah.
WNBA these days. When they first came out with the WNBA in '94, you know what I'm
It
saying,
wasn't.
it wasn't really all that appealing. I'm just gonna leave it at
It
that.
was. It wasn't
But
nothing like that.
these days, though, you know what I'm saying, you got some absolutely gorgeous women and stuff, and I think that they should. I mean, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
you got to do something to lean into, you know what I'm saying, what is making your league special. If that's the reason that people are going to tune in, then cool, promote them. As
Hmm.
long as they tuning in, like you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, but we shall see, man. WNBA, like I said, is a good spot. I would like to see it. Women's sports in general, I think, are very much on the upswing and stuff. Gonna have to definitely put some respect on their names, man, because they be hooping. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like they got some skill out there. Like you said, when Juju hit the league, though,
Oh,
that's gonna be it.
it's
That's
gonna
gonna
go. Hey,
be
it's gonna be all right, Kayla. All right, let's see what you
it.
made of.
Alright. But yeah. Oh yeah, and Caitlin Clark, shouts out to her. I do think that she's gonna have a bunch of like the same way that like when you look up all those crazy statistics and Will Chamberlain and Michael Jordan always on the list somewhere. I
Hmm.
think that Caitlin Clark is gonna be one of those that like regardless of what stat you want to look up, Caitlin Clark gonna be somewhere on that list. And I think that she is gonna have a fantastic career.
Hmm.
She is a dog. She is a certified bucket getter and stuff. So I just want to say shout out to Caitlin Clark. But that Juju the one, in my opinion. That Juju gonna
Oh
be
yeah.
the one.
Oh yeah. I
Um,
agree with you there.
and then we can wrap things up with the College World Series. You want to start with men or women first? I'll let you pick.
Uh, we can start with the women. They're in the championship game, so we can start with the women.
Ah, true that, true that, true that. They are in
Yeah.
the championship game. Can I pull that up? I don't think I can even pull that up. Give me one second. This is this one is basketball. Hey, MSN, y'all gotta do better, cause why y'all ain't got no tab for the women's softball? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Y'all ain't got no tab. All y'all got is. Anyways, we gonna pretend
And
that we
probably the
got a
most
tab.
watched women's sports of all time.
Softball, oh yeah, softball should be. If it's not, I'll be surprised. Um, but anyways, though, we can go ahead and talk about, like you said, they in the championship. Shout out to Texas Tech with the upset over
Hmm.
Oklahoma. You want to talk about dynasties, man? If you unfamiliar with Oklahoma's recent run in women's
Hmm.
softball, man, put it to you like this: They got one of them UConn's women basketball run. You know what I'm saying? How when it looked like when
Hmm.
UConn was just winning every single championship, and they had a couple of undefeated seasons within like a 5 to 6 year stretch, and Gino Oriama got more rings than he got fingers and stuff. That's what Oklahoma has been doing in the softball world. Just to put it to you like that. I don't
Hmm.
even know the exact stats and stuff, but if I had to guess, they done probably won at least 3 to 4, maybe even 5 of the last like national championships in softball. That's
They
off the top of
won.
my head.
Yeah, I think they've won the last three. They was going for a four-peat this year. They
Gotcha,
won
that's
the
what it
last.
is. Yeah. They was
They
going
were
for a
going for a
4 P.
four-peat championship, but they won the last three.
Obviously, I think they'd have had an undefeated season or two in there as
Hmm.
well. Just absolutely dominating the sport. Um, but not this year because they got put out
Yeah,
by Texas Tech. They got put out by Texas Tech. For those of you who don't know, Texas Tech, they NIL deal does stretch the women's softball. They're paying one of their players. I want to say their pitcher. I could be wrong about that, but
yes.
they're paying their pitcher over $1 million. I think like
Hmm.
1,050,000, maybe 1.1 million, somewhere around there. I don't know. She's getting over $1 million to play softball and stuff.
Hmm.
So if you got some daughters out there, you got some nieces, might not be a bad idea to go ahead get out there and teach them a little wind up. I'm just saying, it's not
No.
parenting advice, but it might be something to look into.
No.
Shouts out to them, man. Who you got in the who you got? We got in the championship.
Ooh, it's tough for me. Like, cause like I think Texas Tech can do it. They that girl is gonna have to throw two. Let's say if they go all three games, that girl's gonna have to throw two lights out game, which she can do. Don't get me wrong, but I think what's the name is gonna get them if I'm not mistaken. I think what's the name's gonna
Texas.
get them. Yes,
Yeah,
I think
they
Texas is gonna get them.
that's gonna be. I was trying to pull it up to see when the first game is.
Hmm.
But find that out. Hold on, wait 1 second. I'm gonna have to edit this out the final video. Hold on,
Hmm.
because I do want to find this. Oop, wanna tell me what I need. Yeah. Oh, okay. They start tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Here we go. All right, so yeah, I found it. We got Texas versus Texas Tech. So you know the rivalry is going to be there, the passion is going to be there, the fans are going to be there.
Hmm.
Um, and like you taking Texas in this one? I want to take Texas Tech, man. I want the superstar to win. I want the $1 million, the $1 million lady to win that one. I ain't gonna lie to you,
Do
man.
want
Give
I
me
made that
Texas
lady to
Tech.
win.
Yeah, man. Because I think that that's gonna, especially for schools like Texas Tech, Texas, Alabama. You know, they usually have a pretty good women's softball program.
Hmm.
Oklahoma. I think that that's gonna kind of drive them to be like, you know what, we could probably put a little money. We could slide some of this NIL money over there to the ladies and stuff.
Hmm.
But if they lose, if Texas Tech lose, then all of a sudden some people may be like, was that $1 million investment really worth it? Who knows? But nah, let me ride with Texas Tech, man. Let me ride with Texas Tech. If you gonna go Texas, I'm gonna go with Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Series being played in Oklahoma, so it'll be a short drive for both schools, man. Yeah, they definitely
Hmm.
showing up and showing out for that one. I can't wait to see that one.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of runs gonna be scored. I think a lot of runs gonna be scored.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I
Hmm.
can't wait. Starts on ESPN tomorrow. Well, actually, it'll be today because this video is dropping on the 4th, so it'll be later today.
Hmm.
At 7 p.m. Um, should be a good one and stuff, man. And then also, um, the men's college World Series too has been absolutely all over the place, man. You talking about a bunch of first round upsets and stuff.
Oh man, yeah, these regionals been crazy, and like these super regionals gonna be crazy this weekend. I actually went down to Auburn and watched the super regionals this weekend because
Oh,
you
you
know
did?
I went down there and watched the regionals this weekend because I thought it was gonna be some good baseball play, and it was. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a The men's, I think it's a wide open toss up, man. It's a wide open toss up because like NIL is changing the sport for a better. I think with certain athletics and stuff because um you got a team like Murray State that knocked off Ole Miss who won a championship 3 years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
the SEC's always been quality baseball, and you got a team like them. It's like I was like, what is Murray State doing different than any other school or whatever? And I got to looking and deep in these
Mm-hmm.
boys, they ain't got the actual money to pay the guys, but they giving these kids like trucks and stuff to come to their school and play. Oh, this ain't bad. You
Yeah.
get an F-150 to come play college baseball. Shit, I do it too with the chance of getting drafted. But yeah, the men's is wide open. It's wide open. Um,
Yeah.
Auburn's got a tough one this weekend. They're hosting their regionals again. They're playing
Mm-hmm.
Coastal Carolina, and Coastal Carolina is on a 22 game winning streak. They haven't lost in
Ooh.
3 months.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I ain't
Yeah,
mad
so
at
it's some
that.
so they might really get
I ain't
upset. Like
mad at
it's
that.
the
Huh?
possibility
Yeah.
they can go down.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, because a lot of folks, now it's a lot of hate that the SEC gets
Mhm,
from most of the country. If you're not from the if you're not a fan of of any SEC squad, then chances are you probably don't like the SEC.
mhm.
Because the ESPN they do glaze the SEC. I'll sit here and admit that to you.
They do.
Um, it's a little bit of glaze going on, but for what it's worth, the SEC also does win a lot. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So kind of comes with the territory and stuff. But like, you know what I'm saying, SEC got in like 19 teams into this tournament or something like that.
Hmm.
13 of them are already back home and stuff. And I think that that points more sort of like you were saying with this NIL and stuff, the parity. I thought that that's what everybody wanted. Everybody just likes to shit on the SEC and stuff like that, but
Hmm.
this is what we wanted though. I do like parity. I do like upsets. As long as they don't involve Alabama.
Yeah.
Um, So it has been fun one to watch. I saw LSU, they was playing freaking Little Rock
Yeah.
last night, and I was sitting here and like they was well, it was like the second inning and Little Rock put up 5 runs in the second inning, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh snap, another one finna go down, another ACC squad finna go down. Now LSU they did battle back and they did take the lead and they won that one.
Hmm.
But it's just so much like you said, Ole Miss was in a nail biter with freaking Murray State that they eventually dropped. It's just man, this has been one of the best college world series I've ever watched. I haven't
Hmm.
watched many of them to be fair, but
Hmm.
this is one of the best ones. There's some good hoops out here, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Boys out here balling and stuff. Definitely looking forward to the super regionals. Um, and then you know what I'm saying, as they move on into Omaha and stuff like that. Um, I got a question for you. Do you
Was
know why the hell they do this shit in Omaha every year? Like, is there a reason for that, or is it just is that just kind of one of the things that they just started doing it and then it just never changed again?
They've always done it. I don't know if you've ever heard of the movie called The Natural. It's based out of um it's based
I've
out of
heard of it. I
Nebraska.
haven't watched it, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched
The Natural is about this guy who's a pitcher or whatever. He's just a farmer.
it.
He quit playing baseball or whatever, and he finally got back on the high ropes and went and tried out for a AAA team. And made it's a true story, made the team and made the MLB roster or whatever. So they're always thinking it's like if you build it, they will come. So that's where that happening.
That's where that phrase came from.
Yeah, if you
I
build
did
it, they
not
will
know that.
come. Yes, sir. That's why they play there.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's
That's
what's up. I'm gonna have to get out there to Omaha one of these days and catch a couple of games out there. So, because I heard that the field was beautiful.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've never actually been and stuff. I've only seen it on TV, and it does look like a nice field. It does look like a nice field and stuff, but
Uh huh.
never actually seen it. So, definitely want to get out there and stuff. You got a pick for this? You got a prediction? I know it's kind of crazy. We was just talking about how all these upsets is happening, but anybody out there that you like so far?
Uh, let's see. I just had it pulled up.
Like you pulling that up, man? I'm gonna go ahead and say that I am rocking with LSU.
You are.
Um,
That's
I
not a
am
bad
rocking with
thing.
LSU. Mostly because my homeboy, uh, my homeboy who I actually want to get on the show. He's actually a former D1 player in baseball and stuff like that. He's currently coaching out there at
Uh-huh.
Shays Valley and stuff. Um, so like he's actually one of the reasons why I got back into baseball and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Really kind of ignited that fire for the game for me and stuff. So like I said, I kind of want to get him back on the show.
Hmm.
But he's a big LSU guy, and he rock with LSU. I'm gonna support him. I usually don't support LSU in anything that they do, but in
Uh,
baseball, the boys are good. LSU has a center fielder. Forgot his name, but I was watching him against a couple of games for this College World Series and stuff, and that boy
mhm.
is a baller too. I like him and stuff. So yeah, and then of course they just gave us freaking Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz and stuff.
Yeah,
So you know what I'm saying? They obviously they know
yeah,
what they doing down there in Baton Rouge. So I can't even hate
yeah.
on them. So I'm actually probably gonna roll with LSU. Got to show a little bit of SEC favoritism. You know me.
Uh-huh.
Got to bring it back to the conference at least, make us look good. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead lock me in with LSU. Go
Locked
ahead
in
and
with
do their
LSU.
thing again. Hmm.
I got two. I think I got two. I think I'm gonna ride North Carolina. North Carolina has the best pitching staff in the country, and like it showed this past weekend. Even though they did drop one because they ran out of arms Saturday, so a guy who hadn't pitched all year long in a single game, he had to be activated to the roster and he had to pitch. But I got North Carolina and I got UTSA. I think UTSA gonna do it. I think they're gonna be the sleeper team that makes it.
They were a 2 seed. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
not like that's super far off and stuff.
No.
That's one of the things about baseball, man. It's really dope. Is that like it really just needs to be your team's day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily about who's the most talented team. Is
Hmm.
you really got to put together a bunch of wins because, like you said, it's a bunch of series. It's a bunch of best of three series. So you got to just win two games and stuff. As long as it's your day for 2 days out of them three,
Yeah.
you can move on and stuff, man. So that should be fun. I have to tune into North Carolina. I haven't watched North Carolina. That's the only bad part about baseball, especially with these tournaments. Same thing with March Madness, man.
Hmm.
It's just that it's so many games, man. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying, kind of watch all of them and stuff. Shout out to YouTube TV for the four-way broadcast and stuff. But
Hmm.
most people they'll have that up on the TV. They got the laptop, they got the iPad, they got, you know what I'm saying, 50 million different screens going on just because there's so many games on. It's kind of hard to keep up with all of them and stuff. And
Hmm.
to me, it's kind of hard for me, at least with baseball, to jump around to like different games and kind of be able to lock in and see some stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, it's way easier for me to do that with like football and basketball and stuff. But for baseball, man, I'm still kind of having trouble with kind of following multiple games at once.
Yeah.
So during this tournament, man, I usually pick one game and I'm watching
Hmm.
that one game and I'm watching the little score ticker up there at the top right and
Yeah.
stuff like that, just to keep me updated on everything else.
Uh,
But I'm definitely gonna try to see. Let me see. I got this pulled up now. Let me see where North Carolina is. They right there.
hmm.
Uh, Looks like they supposed to be playing June 6th at noon and then June 7th at noon as well on ESPN2 both days. So
Yeah. That's the Friday
put
and
that
Saturday. Yeah,
into
Friday and
together.
Saturday.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that. Oh, if it's Saturday, oh yeah, Saturday, I should definitely be able to watch that one.
Oh yeah.
Friday, I
Saturday,
might still
Saturday I
be
ain't
at
doing
work,
nothing
so
but dang, drinking beer and watching baseball. But I was giving somebody asked me at work the other day, he's like, how was I so fascinated with baseball and MLB? I said, you can get fascinated in it too. I said, you just look up win streaks and look up how teams are playing in their last 10 games, because that's what the MLB go by or whatever. Like, look what team is winning pretty good. If you got a team on a 10-win streak, you might need to watch them. You got a team that's won 8 out of the last 10, you might need to watch 7 out of the last 10, you might need to watch them because they putting up runs. And you won't be disappointed. That's how you become a fan. And most of the time, those teams are like we said before, Dodgers, Mets,
yeah, the
um,
big teams, yep.
the big teams. But you might get a little birdie, and I like the Twins or somebody that's on a little streak or something. But yeah, you have to watch the streaky teams pretty much to get into it.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Other than that, man, shoot, I think we did a good job that time. Touched
Yeah.
on just about all the sports, all the leagues and stuff, man. Anything else you want to say before we sign up out this thing? Until next time.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Good little session. Good little yap session.
A little app session, man. We'll be back. Hopefully before the NBA finals. concludes. If
Uh-huh.
it's a sweep, then we might not make it back before then. But hopefully they can extend those games out a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, get a little bit deeper into this. All-Star break should be coming up. That's usually what is that? Usually like after the 4th of July, or is it usually around the before the
It's
4th?
right after the fourth.
Right after the 4th, I thought
Yeah,
so.
it's
So
right after the
yeah,
fourth.
we'll definitely be back a couple of times before
Hmm.
then and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Um, and we'll keep talking this baseball and stuff, man. If you here, if you watching, drop some comments. Any questions that you might, if you a casual MLB person or not even a fan of the MLB, and you kind of want to just know some things, drop your questions in the comments, and when we come back, we'll do our best to answer those. Other than that, everybody be safe, stay safe. My baby shower is this Sunday. After that, I'll be able to come back, tell y'all what I'm having and all of that stuff.
And we
Um,
can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to hear it.
and you know what I'm saying? So, but until then, like I said, just be safe and do me a favor and lock the garage on your way out. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.